Hey everyone, welcome back to Juicer 360. My name's Rick and today we're gonna juice some beets. Make sure you stick with me to the end of this one where I talk about one of the most commonly asked questions about juicing beets. Do you juice the greens? That's a great question. I'm gonna answer it. So first thing we're gonna do, the beet is washed, ready to go. We're gonna be juicing this beet today in an Omega masticating juicer. This masticating juicer I've owned for about 5 years. It's done a great job and it will do a great job with beets. One downside of this juicer is the size of the feed chute is a bit smaller. So to get that beet in the feed chute, we're gonna need to chop it some, and that's where we're gonna start. We're gonna go ahead and chop this beet. I'll do that and I'll be right back to show you how to juice it. Okay, now we're ready to juice the beet. So to juice the beet, it's very simple. We're gonna take the beet. First, we're gonna turn the masticating juicer on. Drop the beet down, give it some slow, low pressure with the plunger here. We'll see, we'll get the pulp will come out here, juice down here. So let's see how much juice we get out of one beet. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. Now this Omega masticating juicer works great for juicing beets. Really any hard produce, carrots, beets, anything of the like. If I were, like I said, I've owned this for 5 years. If I were recommending a juicer for juicing beets or carrots, I would actually recommend a different style Omega juicer. I will drop a link down in the down below to exactly what type of juicer I would recommend. It's got a wider feed chute, so you wouldn't have to cut these beets as much. Which makes life much easier. We're only doing one beet, so it's not a big deal. But if you're juicing for, you know, trying to get a few days worth of juice together at once, that bigger chute is gonna save you a ton of time. So there we go, that's the last piece of the beet. Go ahead and get that pushed in there. Okay, great, let's see what we got. So I'll cut the juicer off. You can see we got some pulp here for sure. And as far as juice goes, we got a nice amount. I'd say, you know, about 3 ounces of juice from the one beet. All right, so that's that. So the beet is juiced. Now the next question, one of the most commonly asked questions, one thing to note, beet will stain you. So my hand's stained red here, so something to keep in mind. You want to wash them pretty quick after juicing the beets. So commonly asked question, do we juice beet greens? Absolutely. Absolutely we want to juice beet greens. Absolutely. So let's go ahead. I'll show you how to juice these, and then we're going to talk about some of the benefits of beet juice and then really the benefits of the beet greens as well. There's a ton of nutrients in these greens, so you definitely want to juice these as well. So I'll go ahead and show you how to juice these. Really similar to any other leafy green. The masticating juicer is going to do a fantastic job of juicing these up. So let's go ahead and run the greens through. We'll start with the first one here. Just going to push it down, push it in there with the plunger. Okay, get that going. All right. And we'll continue this. I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and finish these greens, and I'll show you what we got when we return. Okay, beet greens are finished. Now we have beet and beet green juice in the same container here. You can see we got a little bit of foam and a little bit of pulp mostly from the greens. Actually, the greens create a little bit of foam more than the beets themselves. So let's take this and get it out of the way. And I'm going to pour this in a mason jar and just give you an idea how much how much juice we got here from this Omega juicer. Go ahead and pour it in here. Look at that nice dark red. I don't know if you can see that, but that is just a nice dark red color. And we are at basically 100 milliliters or 4 ounces. So just about 4 ounces from one beet and the greens from the one beet. Get this back under here. You can see there's some stringiness here from the beet greens, but man, they are dry. They're definitely dry. There's no nothing left in there, no juice left in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a taste of this beet juice here. It smells amazing. The beet greens really give it that, they give it a more earthy flavor. Really good. It's really good. You get the beet juice flavor, the beet flavor. Tastes much better than a normal beet, the beet juice. And then also the greens kind of cut that sweetness a little bit of the beet juice. and yeah, give it a little more earthiness flavor. So great drink right there. Okay, next let's talk about some benefits of beet juice. So first and foremost, I have to say that I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is for informational purposes only. Make sure you check with your doctor before starting any juicing regimen, especially if you're on any types of medications, as different juices and nutrients in the juice may interact with some medications. With that out of the way, let's talk about a couple of the benefits. Number one is supporting healthy blood pressure. Beet juice does support healthy blood pressure. And also, these are two of the key benefits. There's a lot more, but secondly, improves exercise stamina, which is huge. So both of the benefits that I just mentioned, the potential to promote healthy blood pressure and improving stamina for exercise, is actually caused by the nitric oxide in the beet juice. So the nitric oxide in the beet juice, once it's absorbed in your body, it promotes healthy blood flow. Some of the vitamins, folate, B6, calcium, iron, magnesium, and a host of others. Other compounds in beet juice, betalains. They give the deep red color I was alluding to. That's what gives beet juice those deep red colors. Highly anti-inflammatory. And then the nitrates, the nitric oxide I spoke about, increased blood flow and promotes heart health. What is my favorite recipe? So let's talk about my favorite beet juice recipe. My favorite recipe is beets. So probably one beet, one mid-sized to large size beet with the greens, about 5 carrots and 1 lemon. Nice and sweet, but the lemon brightens that up a little bit. The acidity cuts the sweetness of the juice. Very healthy juice. 1 cup. So let's go back to beet greens a little bit and talk a little bit more about beet greens. So why do we want to juice with the beet greens? 1 cup of beet greens contains 15% of iron, 25% of magnesium, and healthy doses of 18 other vitamins and minerals. When we talk about superfoods, beet greens are a superfood, no questions about it. So again, this is how you juice a beet in a masticating juicer. Pretty simple. Chop it up, drop it in the juicer, plunge it, you get some juice. Definitely juice the beet greens. And lastly, like I say, this Omega juicer, a masticating juicer, is going to be a great option for this hard produce, dense vegetables like beets. This one works great. I'll link down to this below. However, I do recommend the newer model of the Omega because the feed chute is quite a bit larger and you're going to be able to, you won't have to chop beets as much. Again, if you're juicing 1 beet, not as big of a deal, but if you're juicing enough for 3 or 4 days, you're going to definitely save a lot of time with the larger beet chute, or the larger feed chute for the beets. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, really appreciate it. If you could drop a like and a subscribe, that would be super helpful for the channel. We would appreciate it greatly. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.